Animals don't have the same vocal cords we do, yet some have managed to learn human words, not just mimicking sounds, but actually understanding what they mean. From a parrot named Alex who could count and identify colors, to a dog named Chaser who learned over 1,000 words, science is discovering that the barrier between human and animal language might not be as absolute as we once thought. Today, we're diving deep into the astonishing world of cross-species communication, exploring what these remarkable animals can do and what it tells us about intelligence, consciousness, and the nature of language itself. The Gray Parrot Revolution, Alex's legacy. In the 1970s, a gray parrot named Alex entered cognitive psychology history. Trained by Dr. Irene Pepperberg, Alex didn't just repeat words, he understood them. When shown a red block, he said red. When asked how many, he could count up to 6. He understood concepts like bigger, smaller, same, and different. Most shockingly, he invented new words by combining old ones, calling an apple a banana cherry when he saw it for the first time. Alex's vocabulary reached nearly 1,500 words before his death in 2007, fundamentally changing how scientists viewed avian intelligence. Chaser the Border Collie, a dog's dictionary. If you think dogs just understand sit and stay, meet Chaser. This Border Collie learned to identify over 1,000 different objects by name: toys, balls, frisbees, each with distinct words. Her owner, Dr. John Pilley, documented how she could retrieve specific items on command and even understood novel combinations like to X over Y, following complex instructions. Brain imaging showed that when Chaser heard new words, her brain activated in the same regions humans use for language processing. She proved that dogs aren't just responsive to tone, they're actually processing linguistic meaning. Washu the chimpanzee, sign language and syntax. Washu wasn't trying to speak human words, she was signing them. In the 1960s, researchers Alan and Beatrix Gardner raised a young chimpanzee using American Sign Language, teaching her over 250 signs. What fascinated scientists was that Washu didn't just memorize isolated signs, she combined them grammatically. She created new signs by putting existing ones together, signing water and bird when seeing a swan for the first time. She asked questions, told jokes, and even insulted people who annoyed her. Washu demonstrated that ape intelligence could grasp the fundamental structure of language, not just its vocabulary. Koko the gorilla, emotional intelligence through words. Koko, a western lowland gorilla, learned over 1,000 signs in American Sign Language and understood roughly 2,000 spoken English words. But what made Koko unique wasn't just her vocabulary, it was the emotional depth she displayed. She used language to express feelings, joke with her trainers, and even grieve when her pet kitten died. Koko signed sad and cry, and her heart rate increased measurably during the loss. She demonstrated that language in animals isn't purely cognitive, it's deeply connected to emotion and self-awareness, suggesting that understanding words involves understanding feelings in a way that mirrors human consciousness. Clever hands, the illusion that changed science. Before we celebrate animal linguistic genius, we must mention Clever Hands, a case study in how not to conduct animal research. In early 1900s Berlin, Hans, a horse, appeared to solve mathematics problems by tapping his hoof the correct number of times. His owner believed Hans could count, add, and understand concepts. But psychologist Oscar Fungst discovered the truth. Hans was responding to subtle changes in human posture and tension when he reached the right number of taps. This famous case taught us that animal communication research requires rigorous controls. It's a humbling reminder that what we perceive as understanding might be something entirely different. Kanzi the bonobo, grammar and future thinking. Kanzi is a bonobo who learned to communicate using lexicograms, symbols representing words on a keyboard. What set him apart was his spontaneous use of grammar. Unlike Koko or Washu, Kanzi wasn't formally taught sentence structure, he developed it intuitively. He understood word order and could comprehend novel sentences he'd never encountered, like "Can you go to the refrigerator?" Remarkably, he showed signs of future planning, using symbols to ask about events that would happen days later. Kanzi's abilities suggest that syntactic understanding, the very foundation of human language, might emerge naturally in great ape minds given the right environment. Nkisi the African Grey, spontaneous syntax. Like Alex, Nkisi is an African grey parrot, but his abilities pushed even further. With a vocabulary of over 3,700 words, Nkisi demonstrated spontaneous grammar using words in novel combinations without explicit training. He referred to himself as Birdie and used past tense correctly, saying Birdie was a bad birdie when scolded. Brain researcher Jock Panksepp documented how Nkisi's linguistic complexity rivals that of a 3-year-old human child. Yet, unlike children, Nkisi acquired this through informal interaction rather than structured teaching, suggesting that complex communication might be easier for some animals than we assumed. The science of cross-species language learning, why it works. So, why can some animals learn human language while most can't? Neuroscientists point to brain size, social intelligence, and evolutionary history. Parrots, dogs, apes, and dolphins all share certain traits. They're social animals with large brains relative to body size. They evolved to read complex social cues, and they engage in play and exploration. These traits created neural foundations that language could build upon. Brain imaging reveals that when these animals process words, they activate similar brain regions to humans. The key insight: language learning doesn't require human-specific biology, it requires specific types of intelligence that several species possess. We're not teaching animals to be human, we're discovering they already have the cognitive tools. What words really mean to animals, understanding vs. mimicry. Here's the crucial question. Do these animals truly understand language, or are they just incredibly sophisticated pattern matchers? The evidence points toward genuine understanding. When Chaser hears a new dog toy's name, her brain doesn't light up like a parrot's might. It processes the sound as a label for an object, activating regions associated with object recognition. When Koko signs sad, she's not producing a conditioned response, she's expressing an internal emotional state. The distinction matters. Mimicry is about reproducing sounds. Understanding is about linking sounds to meaning, emotion, and intention. These animals show all three, suggesting comprehension that goes beyond mere repetition. What this reveals about human language and intelligence. These discoveries challenge our assumptions about what makes us unique. We once believed language was exclusively human, a cognitive trait that separated us from all other species. But animals learning thousands of words suggest language isn't uniquely human, it's a cognitive capability that appears along a spectrum. This doesn't mean animals have language in the human sense, but it suggests that the mental machinery underlying language, symbolism, memory, grammar, intention isn't human monopoly. Perhaps language isn't what makes us special, perhaps it's the degree to which we obsessively use and elaborate it. This shifts how we view not just animal cognition, but our own nature. We're not separate from the animal kingdom linguistically, we're at one end of a continuum. It makes you wonder what other abilities we've assumed are uniquely human that might exist in animals we haven't looked closely enough to see. From Alex's color naming genius to Kanzi's spontaneous grammar, these animals are rewriting what we thought possible in the animal mind. The barrier between human and animal communication isn't a wall, it's a gradient, and every discovery pulls back the curtain on a more nuanced reality. What fascinates you most about animal language? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and subscribe so you never miss a video like this one.